Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Terrell here on Terrell Game Vlogs here to bring you a Sket Dance. I believe this is Sket Dance episode 67 review. Yeah, episode 67. And let's just get into it. I apologize. This is like, what, 3 days late? Purely just because shit kept coming up and I never got anything done. Like I tried to record it yesterday, and ended up being on Skype for a long time. I tried to record it on Thursday. I had like two people I was talking to on the phone. And that lasted for like 3 or 4 or 5 fucking hours. And then today I'm doing shit for like my English summer course right now, and I have yet to do that homework that is due tomorrow night. Yay, procrastination! So yeah, that's the reason why it took so long. But anyways, let's just get into it. Let's get this. You can't do that. Okay, so from what I remember, because this is one of the few episodes I haven't rewatched multiple times because I thought it was enjoyable, but I didn't find it necessarily like amazing. I'm actually trying. I kind of. Oh, okay, my bad. It took me a minute because I kind of forgot the second half of the episode. The first half is the whole Tsubaki's lame T-shirt thing, which is what I figured was coming. The second half is the whole, which is something I didn't know, is apparently like there's a sub joke. Well, it's not really a joke, but it's pretty much a parody on otakus. I mean, that's the whole joke with the second half. So the first half was pretty funny because what it is that Tsubaki makes his own T-shirts at home, but Tsubaki has a horrible sense of humor. Like the whole joke with Tsubaki in general, which a lot of people forget because he's been focused on more of a chill out light than anything else, is that his running joke was the fact that he was really strict and he was really serious and he didn't really know how to free flow. Like the whole difference between him and Boston is that Boston is more, like what's the word? Chilled out. Like he's like a wind flowing in the breeze. He goes with the flow. Whereas Tsubaki is hell is strict as a motherfucker, and that was the joke, that he was strict. He was strict as hell. So every time he makes these shirts turn out shit because he writes like the dumbest shit on the shirt. Like some of the shirts he's made just has fucking order and I think justice, which I don't know if that's a random One Piece, right? Maybe I'm just misinterpreting it. I don't even remember. I know the order one was there, but I don't know if the justice one is there. And the whole joke of the first half is that uh, Agata just kind of mocks him, and if for some reason Tsubaki has this quirk now where he goes into like this really depressed oh my god phase when they say something about the shirt. So he's like, oh, I see you're wearing another shitty shirt there at Tsubaki, and Tsubaki's like, oh, and I thought that was pretty funny. And so really the first half is just uh Bossoon kind of he's like, well, don't you make your own shirts too, Bossoon? Is like, yeah. Well, for some reason he thinks of Boston as a horrible person because his mother, this is one of the few times we actually get a reference to this. His mother works in like the fashion industry, so his mother can have him make like high quality shirts. And for some reason, Tsubaki just assumes that nigga's a slave driver, and I'm like, wow, you think that nigga's a slave driver? He's like, oh, he's working his mother to death to make him shirts. Like, you're a horrible person for that. It's like I figured you known Boston enough to not make that joke, but then again, I think that's just a result of what happens when you switch around chapters. So when you animate them, some jokes don't work as well because of certain plot points we've already been introduced to. I don't know, but really, the whole joke of the first half is just the fact that Boston's kind of sitting there watching him make a shirt idea and like critiquing him. And it's the most ridiculous shit because like this nigga just writes the word like beach, or like the theme was supposed to be like a beach. So the nigga's like water. And it was like, what the fuck? So you have Boston come in there and kind of just outdo him. And then Tsubaki's trying to like take off of Boston's ideas, but he keeps contradicting himself because he's like, no, my ideas are awesome. I don't need to take off of Boston's ideas, but he ends up doing it anyway. And he's kind of going through this whole thing where he's like, yeah, he's sitting there, he's going like, oh, this idea is all right, and he's like, he's doing changes to the idea that Boston does, like for the beach thing, he actually like draws a beach, he draws like a sun, he draws like a girl standing or something. He's like summertime or some shit, and it looks really good. And then you look over at Sabaki. Sabaki adds like the dumbest shit to the side. Like I think he writes some text under, and then like on top of that, he draws like a face or some shit, and it looks so fucking bad. And it was like, And he wrote some type of weird ass tagline. I don't remember what it was, but it was like it was just so bad. I thought it was so funny. He was failing so hard at making a T-shirt of all things, and he kept doing the. We also got to actually see his family once in this episode, which I still want to see. I don't know if anyone's read the manga chapters like that. Can anyone tell me if there's actually a manga chapter where Bosun goes over at Tsubaki's house? Because I would love to see that just for the hilarity of it all. Mind you, we obviously know that Akane and Rumi are more prevalent in terms of parental characters, but come on. Bosun in Tsubaki's parents' house just comes off as funny. It would be funny as hell to me. Now, the second half, I feel like was an in-joke to almost everybody who's an anime fan or the obvious stereotype of an otaku. Because Switch and Bosun have both watched this robot anime. And they're kind of going back with each other, back and forth with each other, quizzing each other. And it's like, well, why don't we do a meetup with other otaku fans of said show? And then it's like, cool, because but I'm going to have to study up on my stuff. And there's this funny scene where Rumi comes in there to, like, give him dinner at that night. And he's just sitting there reading a book. And it's like, oh, my God, Mom, Boston's turned into an otaku. And it was like, what the fuck? And then, like, I like Boston's reactions. Boston's like, oh, fuck, I just blacked out for a minute. What's going on? What the fuck? Why am I reading the student code handbook? Damn it, Switch. I thought it was funny. And then Switch gets him again because Switch is like, oh, no, I'm sick. You're going to have to go to the meetup without me. And it's just like, oh, you motherfucker. I thought that was so funny. So that happens, and the people that he ends up meeting with for the little meetup, the otaku meetup, it's so wrong because the meetup is really full of like older, like middle-aged guys. Like Boston is the youngest nigga there, and he's 17, and it's like I remember it was like this 30-year-old, this 40-year-old, this. I think one of them was like 50, and I think the other one was like in his late 20s and some shit. And it was ridiculous because it's like, you look at Boston, Boston's like, oh, God. Plus that, they're all saying this most ridiculous shit. Like, I remember, like, Boston had, like, this set phrase he was going to say, and someone says the exact phrase and changes, like, one thing. So Boston just says some really simple, stupid shit. It was horrible. Then they do the karaoke bar thing where, like, they're singing the opening thing with the anime, which is cool. And then Boston makes and honestly, as an anime fan, this bothered me. It was like, you can't call yourself a hardcore fan and not know the second verse of the damn opening you love so much. Because that's what happened. He was singing karaoke for the opening, and he only heard the first verse because obviously in animes, they only played the first verse of an anime. So when it was the full version, and he got to the second verse, and apparently the second verse, for some reason, is in a rap thing that it threw him off horribly. He's in there trying to do karaoke for a rap second verse thing he's never heard before, and everyone was like, no, nigga. No, nigga. Now, I don't remember how it went, but the last part is, before everyone leaves, they all have to say the message they took away from the anime itself. And Bosun goes, and I don't remember the exact joke, but I remember the joke was along the lines of he was nervous as hell, and he said some random, and the random shit was surprisingly, like, insanely deep, and I don't think he realized how deep what he said, and then everyone else just kind of, like, cheered him and, like, threw him up on his shoulders, and this to me was one of the funniest, this is one of the funniest ways to end this episode. They go to the next day where he's telling Switch about the situation. He's like, yeah, they hoisted me up, and they said I was like awesome and everything. It was weird, and you see Switch just go, ch, and the chin, the TCH thing where he's like, ch, like it's like when you curse under your breath, like damn it. I gathered, holy shit, Boston actually got a joke off on Switch, and what that means is, but I think Switch intentionally fucked him over just to see Boston fail. So when Boston succeeded, it was like a fuck you to Switch, and it was the funniest reaction. I kind of wanted Switch to be like, God damn it, and like throw his laptop on the floor. But it was the only time. It was one of the few. I think this will go down as a record. This is the one time where Switch's trolling did not benefit him, and it backlashed on him, and that was funny. I never realize a ch would be that fucking funny when a person said, God, like the TCH, the chit thing. Well, that was funny as hell to me. It was just ridiculous. And as far as the preview for the next episode, the preview for the next episode is actually a love potion based episode. From I'm actually watching it right now, rewatching it because I haven't watched it since Thursday. From what I remember, it's a Remy. It's the what's her name? Yuzu. Yeah, Yuzu, Remy, Onesan, Chusan joke, and it's like they're trying to use this love potion because it's kind of obvious that One-san wants to get it in. At least that's what I think. Like they're apparently trying to use one of Chusan's love potions on Chusan. I'm not totally sure because I haven't read the chapter, but the whole point is there's a Chusan One-san based episode, and that is what I was looking forward to. Yay! And I know that sounds stupid, but I like that pairing. Ever since I saw that pairing brought up right before the whole Happy Birthday saga, I've really wanted to see more Chusan One-san episodes. And it looks like it's like that whole thing where like I think One-san's real name is Raimi, or am I thinking of Chusan's daughter? I think Chusan's daughter is named either Uzu or Raimi. I forget which. I think it's Uzu though. But I'm looking forward to next week just because I love that pairing. And I don't give a fuck what you got me. That's a fanboy thing. But that's like that's one of those other pairings I really enjoy. Actually, when it comes to skit dance pairings, I'm very weird about which ones I like because I seem to be in the middle for any of them are like triangles. Like for Switch, it's like, do I want Momoka or Reiko? Well, like Reiko is more funny, but Momoka needs more development to me in terms of a pairing. And then you have, well, Himiko doesn't actually have a pairing except for Boston, but something tells me this new character that's on the student council is going to present like another set challenge. Maybe be to Boston what Saya is to Himiko. Maybe, I don't know. But that is my skit dance review. I thought it was a pretty good episode. It wasn't like amazing, but I had fun with it. Really looking forward to next week because I'm an One-san, Chusan pairing fanboy, and people don't judge me. But he finally got one over on Switch, and that made my day. So please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Sorry about this again for being so late. And this has been the Vlogs again from your boy Terrell, and I'll catch you guys later review. So skip this was so awesome, and so